Hello and welcome back to another part of my green LP for the Whizzle. Anyway, I clicked to continue and then it's the wrong save, so I have to load up the right save. Anyway, I'm here in Vermilion and I'm all like, oh yeah. And I was kind of debating what to do with myself. I kind of look at Bells and I'm like, oh yeah, Bells awesome. Anyway, I got the new Muse album. Anyway, back to narrating. That probably sounds really crap, but I don't give a crap. Anyway, I pwn these Growliths that this old guy has, and he's like, oh no, Sonny Jim, get off my lawn. And I'm like, hey, another old guy. And then he throws Nido Boy at me, I'm like, you pervert. And then I send out my potato, I'm like, suck potato, old man. And then my potato's like lightning fast, so I'm like, oh yeah, ain't never seen something like this before, biatch. Don't know what the hell that was. Anyway, he sends out Nido Girl, and I send out my potato again. It's like, no, not the potato. And yeah, the potato. Anyway, the potato like pretty much owns Nido Girl for the hizzle. And then like potatoes are like, oh yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, and then I'm all like, I'm gonna post-show my potato. Oh, I never want potato to evolve now. You know, this person is like something about a pie, but in like weird language of something that doesn't make sense. Anyway. Combo breaker. Ha lol. Anyway, I walk in and this person's all like, I'm gonna pwn you, and then she sends out a pit. I'm like, oh no. And then I switch to Pika. I'm like, oh yeah. And I don't know why I've been saying oh yeah so much. It's just kind of a habit kind of thing. I'm like, oh yeah. Anyway, I say anyway, okay, and oh yeah, and so and too much. And I also say that I say stuff too much. Damn. Anyway, yeah. What's its face tries to learn sleep powder. And I'm like, oh yeah, Bells learn slip it powder. Or attack or whatever. Anyway, this person doesn't fight you on Teenage Challenge and throws Nido Boy at me. I'm like, what is it with you people and Nido Boy? He's not even that good. I mean, if you had like Reno, what would that be? Neater. Anyway, I get TM08 and Body Slam. I'm just psychic like that. I totally haven't played this, and then I'm narrating over afterwards. Yeah, that's totally how it goes. Anyway, to the interwebs away. I'll stay on topic. I come into the kitchen and I try to remember which one it is, and I play a little game of chance and I lose. Anyway, I get the great ball anyway because I'm a cheater. And then I try to walk through the door and then I fail. And then I go all the way downstairs. And this guy's like, oh no, I'm gonna battle you. And then I check how long I've been running, and then I get a max potion that I'm probably not gonna use for a while. My interwebs is awesome. Ooh, 490 channel views. I smell the special. Anyway. Yeah, self-explanatory ponies right there. And I go to level 19, and my Bell's catching up, so I'm shopping right there. And then technically uses supersonic, and I'm like, no. And I have to shock it once, I'm like, oh yeah, and then I hit myself, and then it supersonics again like a retard, and then I push out my Pika, and then it uses acid, and then I'm all like, oh no, it's gonna poison me, and then it doesn't, and then I hit myself, and then I'm like, oh no, and then I push out my Pika again, it uses acid, and I'm like, oh no, and then it still doesn't poison me, I'm like, oh yeah, and then I like, I shock it, and then I kill it, and I'm like, pwned. Yeah. Wow, that was not good for me. I'm going to support my hockey team. See you later. Okay, John Young. John, yeah. Anyway, I'm up to 20 subscribers. Yay! Well, 20. Well, yeah, 20, because one of them is my alt account, and I don't count it. So, yay. I should unsubscribe, really. Anyway, it uses boo, and I'm like, oh yeah, and then it does some stuff, and then I wrap it, because I'm out of vine whips, I think. I don't know, I wasn't looking. Maybe I should pay attention to what I'm actually doing. Anyway, use wrap, and wrap again, and wrap again, and then he lost it, and I'm like, oh, per you. Anyway, I put potato up front, and I use a post-show on my potato, and then I find something that I don't know what it is, and then I battle this guy with my potato. I'm like, good potato, and then he sends out some jellyfish thing, and it's all like, oh yeah, and it tries to supersonic. I'm like, oh yeah, and then it uses thing, and then I thought I got poisoned, but I didn't. It's just my defense fell, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah, and then his all times 4. What is it with me in times 4? Anyway, I go to leave some items in my PC, and then I try to show you what is wrong with this. Oh god. Ow, that really hurt. Anyway, I put all my crap in, and then when I come back, I'm like on the ship again, because I'm like Abra. But my teleport is useful. And I'm like iTunes, and I import the CD because I haven't done it yet, and it's importing, and it's taking 50 seconds, and now the disc's making a funny noise that I don't like. And anyway, I send out my bells, and I just start putting shelters left, right, and center, and it tries to learn suns, but I'm like, nay. And then bells evolved. Bells were bell turned. Yeah. You really should have put a space in, because I thought it was going to be called Webelt, and I'm like, where's the T come from? Anyway, Webel. And I like sleeped this shop, and I vine whip it loads, and I'm like totally awesome for that. Anyway, I walk left, right, center, forward, backwards, upwards, rightwards, and leftwards, and I put wheat and bell up. What did I just say? That's the kitchen. I go out onto the place, and I'm like, oh god, it's a guy that's like mopping up. Anyway, I think there's someone coming. What? Said anyway again. Stalling for time, stalling for time, stalling for time. Oh yes, and at Wharton, then I punch this thing. It's like, that's not very nice, punching a jellyfish. And I'm like, oh, who cares? And this guy lost it, and I said, and again, and I talked to this guy without saying and damn, I should do like an and count, and he's like, oh, he is like ek. And then this guy challenged, and then I pwn it because I sleep powder is my chop, and then I'm really gonna kill somebody. Refresh. Oh, we're up to my 4th song, imported from the new Muse album with Doom, Death, Destruction, and Awesomeness. I own it, but with rap, and then I like vine whip, and I go to level 22, and I don't care if I say and anymore, and everybody's level 22, and I'm like, yay. And then nobody else will fight me, so I'm like, yeah. And these guys just talk crap, pretty much. To be honest, I've done the gym battle already, and I'll just tell you, I did it in like fast mode, and it's all fast. It's not very epic, so I'm gonna slow it down. That just means more editing. But believe me, if you know the next gym puzzle, you'll know a problem I'll have with this language barrier between English and non-existent language. Anyway, it's a pain. I think I'm coming to the end. Well, I fight this guy, and he has a Pika, and then I'm all like, oh no, and then I just Mega Punch it, and then it T-Wows me. I'm like, no, not the T-Wow. And I Mega Punch it again, and then it's all like, oh yeah, I owned you in the face for the whistle and the hizzle and nizzle for shizzle. And that was like a cool little rhyme, and I'm gonna see you guys later because I've run out of time.